Remember this episode where I had shown you how to preserve beyond its season this Indian gooseberry, also called as Amritafala or Amla or Nellikai in Tamil? If you have missed that episode, do watch that episode after you watch this one. Remember, an Amla a day keeps a doctor away. So, let's begin. Namaskaram. I am Sujata, an educator in biology and environmental science, a health and wellness consultant and your host on Munch and Mull. Do click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon. So today, let me share with you 3 extremely simple and delicious recipes that I am going to be making with my preserved Amritafala. Before we get going onto the recipe, let me remind you that Amla has got some amazing array of health and medicinal properties, which is why it is called the fruit of immortality or Amritafala. Do check out this episode on the Amla Murabba, in which I have explained in great detail about the health and medicinal properties of Amla. So, what's our first Amla recipe? In the peak of a summer afternoon, a glass of Amla juice is so refreshing. Let's make it. So, ingredients for the Amla juices, I have taken 2 Amlas. I've taken half a teaspoon of dry ginger powder or sunthi and 2 tablespoons of raw cane sugar or jaggery powder. You can actually adjust the jaggery powder depending on the sweetness that you want, and generally 1 amla per glass of juice. I have not taken salt here because salt is already there in the amla preserve. So for the amla juice, I'm just going to be cutting this amla. It's become so soft, see, so easily cut. So I'm just going to be cutting this, putting it into the chutney jar. Discard the seed. I'm adding the raw cane sugar or jaggery powder. Diabetics can reduce the quantity of the jaggery powder or make it without it. Adding the dry ginger powder or sunthi. I'm adding this preserved water which has salt in it. So now let's grind this into a fine paste. Here, this is very finely ground. Some little chunks, if it is there, it's okay. It's nice to bite on it. So you can use the preserved water to actually rinse the mixie jar and add it to the juice. So let's prepare our amla juice. So I'm just putting some ice cubes in the glass. So let me add this amla mixture that we ground in the mixie and now add water. Give it a mix. Our refreshing amla juice is ready. What's the second amla recipe? Palakkad Iyer special Nellikai Aracchu Kalakki. I have explained the concept of Arachhu Kalakki in my previous episode where I have used mango ginger to make the Arachhu Kalakki. Do check it out. Especially when you are in a hurry, this Arachhu Kalakki can be churned out within just 2 to 3 minutes. It's that simple. Ingredients for the Nellikai Arachchu Kalakki is I have taken 2 Nellikais or amlas, 1 green chilli, 2 tablespoons of fresh grated coconut, 1 cup of fresh curd, and for tadka I have taken a tablespoon of cold pressed groundnut oil. You can use oil of your choice, and 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds. Vegans can use the plant-based curd. As salt is already there in this preserve, I have not used salt. If you feel it's less, you can add it later. So now for the Nellikai Arachchu Kalakki, the same process. I'm going to be cutting the 2 amlas and putting it into the mixie jar. Adding the chilli, fresh grated coconut and the preserved water to grind it, which also has salt in it. Adding 2 spoons of curd also. Now let's grind this. See, this is nicely ground. Now we just have to mix this in curd and give the tadka. So I'm transferring this ground nellikai with coconut and chili and curd to a bowl. Adding a little preserve water to rinse the jar. Add this, add the curd and just mix it up. Arakkardu is grinding, kalakkardu is mixing. If you want, you can adjust the consistency with a little bit of water. And now on tasting, I found that the salt is less, so I'm adding some more salt. And now for the tadka. So once the pan is hot, I'm adding the oil and now I'm adding the mustard seeds. Let's add this now. So a delicious Amla or Nellikai Aracchu Kalakki is ready. It goes very well with hot rice and a scoop of ghee or sesame oil. Aracchu Kalakki also goes well with idli, dosa, parathas, chapatis, etc. And the finale, what's the third Amla recipe? Instant mouth-watering delicious Amla Pickle. So the ingredients for the instant Amla Pickle are as follows. I have taken 4 amlas. I have taken half a teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of red chili powder, 1 tablespoon of oil and 1 teaspoon of mustard for the tadka. You can also use half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hing powder and fenugreek powder. It is optional. And you can adjust the quantity of the chili and the salt according to your taste. For the instant Amla Pickle, I'm just going to be cutting the amla into small sized pieces. The seed, discard the seed. So adding the chili powder to the chopped amlas, salt, give it a mix, and what remains is just the tadka of oil and mustard. I have shown a very small quantity, so you can prepare it, whenever you need it. It just takes about 2-3 minutes. And now for the tadka. So once the pan is hot, I'm adding the oil and now I'm adding the mustard seeds. Let's add this now. Our mouth-watering Amla or Nellikai pickle is ready. Labak labak, thus goes the curd rice with this pickle. It also goes well with upma, parathas, chapati. You can use it also as a sandwich spread. So we've just finished the shoot of these 3 Amla recipes and here I deserve this drink now, Amla juice. So soothing. Now that this is the Amla season, have you stocked up your amlas for preservation? Let's mull over it. Of course, there are amla preserves available in the market. But if you have seen my previous episode on chemicals and preservatives in processed food and food available in the market, it is always better to make these preserves with natural ingredients at home. It's best for our health. So, did you enjoy this episode? And how many of you are going to be rushing to the market and stocking up your amlas? If you like this video, don't forget to click on that like button. And if you feel that these traditional methods of preservation are far safer and healthier, then you ought to definitely share this video with your friends and relatives. Hey, have you subscribed to Munch and Mull? Do click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive notifications of my newest videos uploaded every Saturday.